Okay, here we go with the recording. Hopefully I can piece these two together for the people who can't be here. All right, so I can't even remember. Parallelograms. We were working on the rhombus. Get this out of the way for Miss Samantha. So sometimes we have to talk about what they are and what they aren't, is where I think I was. So for instance, the definition for the parallelogram is that it has two sets of parallel sides, and I think that's probably on the back, so you can look at that and see. But the other ones are more specific. Notice that rectangle, the arrow goes this way for rectangle, and it has a particular property that the general parallelogram doesn't have, and it has a property that the rhombus doesn't necessarily have. What is it? 4 right angles. Okay, these are perpendiculars. Do you see how the parallelogram wasn't perpendicular and the rhombus isn't perpendicular? Those are supposed to be, these are supposed to be obtuse and these are supposed to be acute. I know it's hard to tell maybe in that picture. But a rhombus can be more diamond shaped, right? Oh my goodness, my pictures are terrible. Okay, so they don't have to be as almost a square as that one looks like. Okay, so these have 90-degree angles. The square we know has 90-degree angles. So have you ever heard that saying, a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not always a square? Oh, I turned off y'all's projector. Nobody's saying anything to me either. They're just like, it's okay, Dr. We know you're freaked out. There y'all go. Sorry, it'll come back on. Okay, so they're like, we can't see anything. All right, so poor commerce, they're the ones getting gypped here. So the thing about the rhombus is it doesn't have to have 90-degree angles. The property for the rhombus is 4 congruent sides. Okay, so whenever you look at the square has the 90-degree angles that the rectangle has. So it has all of the properties of the rectangle, but it has this additional property that the rhombus has, which is 4 congruent sides. Okay, so a square is a rhombus because it has all of its properties, but it's more specific because it's got the 90-degree angles. And a square is a rectangle because it has the 90-degree angles, but it's more specific because it has the 4 congruent sides. Okay, so that's why that old saying that confuses everybody, a square is a rectangle, but a rectangle is not always a square. I'm like, what? That's what they mean. Same could be said for rhombus. A square is a rhombus, but a rhombus isn't always a square. Okay, now all of these have to have the property of the parallelogram, which is two sets of parallel sides. Okay, so all of them have things that the parallelogram has. So if we find out a property for a parallelogram, I don't know, let's just say, let's say the property that I said for the quadrilateral, it has 2 diagonals that are interior. Okay, then that means the parallelogram also has 2 diagonals that are interior. Everybody agree? Okay, do you see the 2? The rhombus has to have 2 diagonals that are interior because they're inside of that topic quadrilaterals. The kite has to have 2 sets of, or 2 diagonals that are interior. Okay, so all of the properties that are assigned to the bigger group they trickle down, and then as we go down, they're more specific. That's what's going on. Okay, so did that help you with the rhombus, Miss Samantha? I hope.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Now it's going to have some particular properties, and we'll talk about those. Okay. For instance, I'm just looking at my diagonals here, and I go, what do y'all think about those diagonals on that rhombus? Or on the diagonals for the kite? They kind of look perpendicular to me. We'll have to see about that.
Make some triangles.
Yeah, and it boils down to a bunch of little triangles, right? Okay, so we're going to tie our quadrilaterals back to our triangles later, and we'll see that kind of thing happening exactly. All right, on the other side is the trapezoids. He's kind of on his own because he only has one set of parallel sides, okay? And then inside of it, you see the two special ones. One is, oh, Elijah. Poor Elijah, I'm sorry. He wants back in, man. We don't know what happened in Commerce. We just got kicked out. So our computer died and we had to start all over. Sorry about that. All right, so the trapezoid here, one set of parallel sides, isosceles trapezoid. Now, here's where we have to attach some of our words that we already have. We already know about isosceles triangles, right? What are isosceles triangles? They have two congruent sides, right? Okay, so what do you think about this isosceles trapezoid? Yeah. Here's my parallel sides. Those are called your bases in the trapezoid. And so these sides right here on the outside there are going to be your congruents. Exactly. And then what do you think a right trapezoid means? Yeah, it's got a right angle. Okay, so these guys are parallel. I mean, it's not rocket science, right? You can do this. We already know what a right angle means, 90 degrees, right? Now, hang on a second and think about this with me. If the top and the bottom, if those are my bases and they're parallel, and this guy is 90 degrees, then what do we think about this one up here at the top? It needs to also be 90 degrees, right? Why?
Because they're parallel.
Because they're parallel, which tells me.
It's gonna stay straight.
Okay, so the slant on this line is the same as the slant on this line, right? The slope, as they meet this transversal, and that's basically what it is a transversal. So as I come in like this, they've got to be, because they're parallel, their slope is the same. The slope is the same on this one. That means they have to meet at the same angle. Absolutely. Yeah, because they're parallel, he's right. Okay. But then we get some kind of cool properties coming in too, because we can see, oh, that adds up to 180. It's like I take this line up here and I flip it 90 degrees. Oops. And then I flip it 90 degrees again. What did I do? I flipped it a total of, rotated it 180, right? 90 and 90 is 180. So that tells me that parallel lines are equivalent to rotating one of them 180 degrees, okay? So there's some stuff you might see as we go forward that goes like this. A line is perpendicular, line A is perpendicular to line B. Line B is perpendicular to line C. What can you tell me about line A and line C? They're parallel, exactly. So you have to kind of think, okay, I took this one and I flipped it or rotated it and then I rotated it some more. Oh, they must be parallel. And so we're going to do some stuff and it'll have to wait, I think, because I'm just stressed out now about my computer going off again. So it'll have to wait a tiny bit of time. If you're here in Commerce, I'll go ahead and give you some stuff that you can take with you for the next time. If you're not here in Commerce and you won't be getting my packet anytime soon, you'll need to dig out some index cards or just cut some construction paper or something, like some thick copy paper, and cut it kind of into squares, rectangles, I mean, like an index card. An index card would normally be 3 by 5 inches, right? And so if you don't have access to some index cards, maybe over the weekend, get you some or grab some outside of my office door. I'll leave some out there, or a couple of you have packages coming to you. I've only gotten a couple of requests for packages, so if other people need packages, let me know. I can send out the compass and the protractor and the index cards and the patty paper and the coffee filters that we're going to need and all that. It's just one package for the whole semester, and you can have those. And if you're going to be here on Tuesday, you can pick them up then too. All right, so that's where we're headed. Next thing up is we're going to really dive into some of these. Like, we're really going to dive into the kite, and we're going to say, what's going on with those diagonals? Are they really 90 degrees? Are those really perpendiculars in the middle? How can we prove it? So the next step after, so on Tuesday, don't forget GeoGebra. we're gonna start, oh, and I have some homework. On Tuesday, we're gonna start in on GeoGebra and some construction. And then the next step is we're gonna start doing some proofs. Okay, it'll be great. So homework, don't let me forget. What's your question, ma'am?
That's what I was gonna ask.
Oh.
You wanted to do some reminders.
We have homework. So yay. If I can always find the right page, here it is.
Yeah, 4.1 to 4.3, you might buy one.
Oh, you want the stuff that's already out there. Okay, so 4.1 through 4.3 is today. There's a quiz on parallel lines that I put up on Tuesday. It's in D2L. And I put directions, but make sure you know, you'll need two things. You'll need to go to the document section for week 3 and find quiz on parallel lines. I couldn't figure out whenever I did this. I know there's a way for me to do it. I just wasn't thinking, wasn't able to get to D2L to cooperate. So what I did was I drew your pictures on a sheet of paper and I uploaded that sheet of paper. Okay, so the parallel lines, it's just a typical, it's nothing crazy. It looks like this or something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you probably don't even need that, but there's a picture. It's in the document section. Open that up, and then you'll go to activities and quiz and open the quiz for parallel lines, okay? And then answer the questions in the quiz on D2L according to the picture that you're looking at. But it basically just looks like that. It's nothing special, honest. Okay, so that guy is gonna be due Tuesday, the 15th, thank you. Okay. The 4.4 through 4.6 is due Tuesday. All right, we assigned that last time. Okay, 15th. Okay. Is that all the outstanding stuff?
You have another quiz on there.
Okay, there's a new quiz up there that's for today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Usually it's the syllabus quiz.
The syllabus quiz should have already been due. Yeah, that was last week, I think. Was the due date. So there's a new one. I just put it up today. Trig quiz on triangles, and it's due Thursday. You'll have a week to do it. The 17th. I just went ahead and preloaded it, basically. Is that the one you're talking about, Alexis?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, is there another one? I think that's just those two. Okay, so this one, same deal. You'll need to go into the week 3, find the paper that says quiz on triangles. Now this one, you really do need that page because it's pictures of triangles, okay? And so it might say angle, I don't know, it's like arm, can't even write. So it might say angle R. You know that angle R is what? Okay, how big? 32 degrees, 59 degrees, whatever. So you'll have to see the picture. There'll be measurements. You'll have to do some arithmetic. Okay, use some of the properties we have. So you need the picture. It's in the week 3 content. Under content, week 3. Pull that up first. Then go to activities, quizzes, and pull up the triangle quiz and use that to help you. You don't have to print it. You just need to see it, okay? You can do your work on paper or something. Okay, so that one is out there. And then we need homework. Homework. I think I can fit it in here. Oh, make it fit. Page 51, 3, 6, 9, and 12. So just multiples of 3 through 12, plus 15 through 24 all. And then you can do page 57, there's not a lot, number 11 and 16. I think we can see that. Can y'all see it? Is it big enough? I can zoom. There. Okay, so those 2 pages, I didn't put that in yet into the D2L content for week 3 because I didn't know how far we would get. So, but y'all can do that for sure. You'll be okay. This is all about defining things. And part of page 51 is some of the properties we've had. So like vertical angles are congruent, whatever. So properties, is this a true statement or a false statement? What do you see here? That kind of stuff. I think that y'all can knock those out pretty easily.
So that next Thursday,
Yep, next Thursday.
and that's just the activity.
Yes, so you will, once you're finished with it, so it's out of the book, right? Thursday the 17th. Get it out of the book. Once you're finished with it, write all your work on your own paper. Once you're finished with it, you need to scan it using a scanner or a scan app or whatever into one single PDF file. Don't give me 5 different JPEGs or something like that. One PDF file. If you're not sure how to use the scan app, go through and play with it. It should be the batch. You can save things as a batch so that you can do 5 different scans, but one file, okay? So save it as a batch, upload it, and put it under, it'll be activities, and then assignments, and then it'll say like page 51. So I'll have that assignment folder there for you to load it up into.
When we started talking about the handout today, you said something about reading.
Oh, there is some reading, so let me go ahead and give that to you. And this, you don't have to do this at any particular time except for before the test, but I think it'll help you with some of the content we're dealing with right now with the vocabulary and stuff. So it's pages 28 through 73, which sounds like a lot, but it's not. It's got like homework sets in there and stuff like that. So if you can read that, yeah, that's the biggest portion of it. That will be good. There's some others that I can, reading. There's some others I can give you if you need help with that. So if you want more reading to do, it'll be fun. There we go. You're all on the screen. All right, everybody's okay? Totally freaked out. I'm gonna have to go check my recordings. It's crazy. I hope you guys who are not live and not on Zoom have this. It'll be okay. All right, let me count who's here and then we'll get out of here. How's that sound? Yay. Samantha, Maria, when I call your name, if you want to take off, you can. Otherwise, I need to talk to Amberly, maybe hang out for a minute. Let me think about that.
One person didn't make it back into the Zoom meeting.
So we're 9 and now there are only 8. Okay, Christina, I got you. Alexis, I got you. I'll have to go back and look and see who was here. See Jessica. Jessica's not here. Okay. Summer's here. Matthew, I saw you. Caroline, Demondra's here. I have you. Ashley is here. Mary, I got you. Ryan, I got you. I don't see Janet. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend. I don't see kids. If you have something for me, hang out. Otherwise, I think I got all of you. Have a great weekend. Stop the recording. Hopefully. Everybody else is